Hello, welcome to Skull RPG Podcast. My name's Dwight Skull.
My name's Jacob Skull.
And today we're going to teach you how to tell your story. Hey everyone, today we're going to have a little special edition for the podcast / YouTube channel. What is happening is basically Jacob and I, primarily Jacob, has actually written a book called Human NPCs, 84 Complete NPCs for 5th edition to use in your RPG in minutes. If you want to get a hold of this book, you can. It's going to be in the show notes or the description below. You can just go ahead and click down there and get the link to it, or you can actually search by either Dwight Skull or Jacob Skull, and that's SCULL on Amazon.com. The book is about 183 different pages. If you get it in the Kindle version, a little bit longer in the paperback. The reason why we did that is so that you could actually have the complete stat block for the person plus all of the spells as well on, if you open up the page, it has everything you need for that one level. How this book is written is everybody in here is a human, and we're going to have a little bit more books coming out if this one does really well for elves and dwarves and other base classes in the D&D 5e system. What we did, though, is we thought, the biggest thing that's really kind of a pain in the butt to come up with, of course, is NPCs. So if you need to roll up a high-level wizard or something, it can take a lot of hours. And so what we realized is that could be a really big hamper for some people that are using kind of custom games to kind of get into the custom games or just have some really cool people. So then they just typically go to the monster manual and throw in stuff. The other thing we know is on Premade adventures, sometimes your players are just walking through everything way too fast. And if that's the case, this book's for you as well, because you can start sprinkling through some NPCs that could help bolster up some of the forces. So there could always be an enemy cleric who's helping, your team of goblinoids or something out there. And you don't really exactly know why they're there, or maybe you come up with a quick backstory of why this human might be helping these other people. Could just be that they're paying them really well. That said, what you're getting is this. It's all the base classes in the D&D 5e book. So it's the bard, it's the barbarian, it's the monk, the warlock, the sorceress, the wizard, the rogue. The only thing we didn't include in there was the ranger, because when we started scaling up the ranger and looking at this, just looking at the stats for a ranger, we realized a ranger's really underpowered. So what we did is we replaced the ranger with a ranged fighter. So you have a melee fighter and a ranged fighter. And I'll tell you what, Jacob kind of optimizes these people to be pretty bad. And I don't mean like bad and like, oh my God, they suck. But I mean like, they are incredibly hard to kill. And we've given you tips on each one of these. And the other advantage is sometimes you're playing low-level characters, sometimes you're playing high-level characters, sometimes you're playing medium-level characters. So what this gives you is levels 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. And what that should allow you to do is basically be able to sprinkle those people through. I will tell you that they are built in such a way that if you had a party of 4, you could use any of these people as your big bad guy or gal for that game session, or even your entire campaign if you want. And so that's kind of also nice. The other thing too is for your spellcasters, all their spells are laid out. The wizard has all of his spells and all the spells in the spell book laid out as well. You can feel free to substitute in any of that. We're only using the base edition because we don't know exactly which expansions you have, nor which ones you may allow. So this should be good for every player that is using the D&D 5e system. That said, if you're using Pathfinder or something else, and you know how you can easily port characters over using whatever formulas there are for that, you could pick up this book and do the same thing. Now, here's the best part of this. I kind of wanted to make this whole pitch kind of more of an evergreen pitch, but because for those of you that are subscribed or are listening to this between today, which is January 21st, 2021, and January 25th, 2021, the book will be free in the ebook edition. So you can go ahead and pick it up there. It's on Amazon, and you can find it either by looking up Jacob Skull, JACOBSCULL, or you can just click on the show notes if you're listening to this on the podcast, or in the description below if you're on YouTube, and you can click the links that are there, and you can get this book for free in Kindle form for the next couple of days. So this is our thank you to you guys for being subscribers or maybe stumbling across the channel at a very specific point in time. If you're listening to this after that point in time, the cost is going to go up. We're going to try to make it pretty reasonable throughout, but I will tell you that it should be a really good source book for you to use. And we do have character explanations throughout, what each character gains at what level, and kind of our thinking process around why we gave that person what we gave them. On the spellcasters, we focused primarily on either damage or like doing a lot of damage and also doing battlefield control. We did a whole thing on why I think battlefield control is even more impressive than damage spells. That's really true if you're a game master, because most of the time you're not out trying to kill your players, where a disintegrate or something like that could do it immediately. But instead, if you do battlefield control, where you maybe charm a player, remove a player from the field of battle for a long time, that actually has a little bit more of a detrimental effect on your player's psyche than just killing them. Plus, then they don't have to roll up a new character when the battle's over, because they'll be uncharmed, or maybe they'll come out of the dimensional pit or something that they were held into. That said, pick up the book today. I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you do pick it up for free, we just ask that you give us an honest review. At the end of the Kindle, if you get to the last page, it should pop you up another page where you can do a star rating. You can do a star rating, that'd be fantastic. And then after the star rating, it will take you to another screen where you can actually write out, I think it's like a 100-character or more review. We really appreciate those. But you don't have to do both. You could just give us a star rating and then move on. But we would appreciate you doing both if you go ahead and pick it up for free. But like I said, it's free for now. Hope you jump on it, and we look forward to serving you more in the future. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening.
And for more resources, please go to skullrpg.com.